What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, and I am thrilled to be teaching you this classic blues progression right now. There's some nice little twists and turns compared to the 12-bar blues, and it's super fun to play and jam over. So we'll zoom in, I'll break it all down for you. Also, real quick, I appreciate you subscribing to this new YouTube channel of mine. Really appreciate that support. You can also leave your requests in the links below. And then also at my new website, martymusic.com. If you sign the email list, I've got some great free courses that I'll send you. So I appreciate all that support. But enough of that. Let's zoom in and break this one down. Here we go. All right, so this is a really cool blues in the key of G. And it's, not the traditional 12-bar blues. So there's some cool stuff about it. We're going to start with a G7 chord. But if you are more advanced of a blues player, you can substitute the G7 for G9, G13, different voicings. But for right now, we're going to use the basic G7 bar chord. So it's like an E7 shape with the index finger barred on the 3rd fret. And then I'm going to stay in this position and I'm going to play the 4 chord of the blues, which could be C7. I'm going to play C9. 3rd, 2, 3, 3, 3. And then back to the G7. Then I go up a half step, which is G sharp or A flat, back down. So it's a little tension kind of chord. So from the top, 3, 4, G7 to C9, back to G7. Now up a half step and back down. Now C7 again, or C9. Now the G7, A minor 7, B minor 7. I'm going to show it to you. Half step down to B flat minor 7, A minor 7, and that's the turnaround happens. So check it out. This is a pretty cool thing. It's a G7, and then it kind of follows the key of G major after this. So this little section, if you're already playing solos and stuff, this little climb up and down is great for the G major pentatonic as opposed to the G blues or the G minor pentatonic. So G7. And then I'm playing this voicing of A minor 7. Middle finger's on the root, 5th fret, and then my ring finger comes across and hits the 5th fret of the D, G, B, and high E. The A string's muted by my middle finger. So that's A minor 7. Then I go take that exact same thing and move it up a whole step, and you have B minor 7. Then down a half step that way, and you'd call that B flat minor 7. And then another half step, you're back to A minor 7. So let's play everything up to that point, starting on the G7. C9. Back to G7. Up a half step, back down. Now C9 again. Part G7, A minor 7, up a whole step, down a half step, down another half step, and this is just where it kind of veers off the standard blues. It plays a C minor 7 chord. It's gonna give us some nice juicy flavor. And that particular voicing is pretty nice. So it's like barred on the 3rd fret, the root's on the A string, and then I'm playing an A minor 7 looking shape, which is middle on the 3rd, ring on the 5th, or I'm sorry, middle on the 4th of the B, ring on the 5th of the D, that's barred, and then pinky, real nicely, can be on the 6th fret of the high E. So from the G7 climb up, So G7 to C9. Back to G7, up a half step, and back down. Now C9. Now the climb up part with G7, A minor 7, B minor 7, half step down, A minor 7, C minor 7, and then a classic turnaround of G7, C9, G7, D altered, and really, it's a really cool chord. And you just think of it, if you've ever played the Hendrix chord, you can actually play that chord as the turnaround. But what I like, this particular voicing where my pinky just, I'm playing the Hendrix chord, but my pinky's covering the high E as well. It sounds like this. So you get that augmented sound is what that note's called. So it's 5th, 4th, 5th, 6, 6. So that turnaround is G7, C9, G7, then this D altered. Let's go to the top. G7. Then C9, then G7 again, up a half step, back down half step, then C9. So one other cool blues trick, when you have a G7 or this dominant 7-chord shape, you always have this as an option. And so what I'm doing is I'm playing the 3rd of the D, the 2nd of the G, and the 3rd of the B, and I'm sliding up a whole step and back. And then when I play that C9, the ring finger right here, which is covering the 3rd fret of the G, B, and high E, same move, up and back a whole step. All right, there it was. Thank you for spending a little time with me. Also, thanks for subscribing to this YouTube channel of mine. And if there's a lesson you'd like to see or a technique that you'd like to learn, anything, like this video and leave it in the comments below, and I will check it out. Once again, thank you, and I can't wait to see you again. See you later.